So, as I told you, I am going to read the English classics for you. I am not perfect in English, I am not perfect in accent, but I will try my best. And why I am reading this to you? Because two reasons. First reason I told in the short or the read. And now in this video I will tell you the another reason. I am going to extract certain important parts of these books. I read the Jane Austen full, 3 books. I read the Henry James, 1 book, almost done. But I didn't read them to you. Because this is, now I am reading this. This is not completely read one. I just, I'm on for 54th page. But I chose this to be a first one. There is a reason. Because this is the period when the British came to India. This is the period when they ruled India. They spread their wings to and captured the power of total India in 1880, around 1818, around that. So it is the period. And I have praised the British woman, British culture. I will read out this also sometime. But not now, because the first important is, what is for India is, what was the period when they ruled us? They captured the power of, what was the condition of that? And this is the book. Name is A Tale of Two Cities. This author is Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens. So we will read Charles Dickens now. The first chapter is the period. Remember I am not going to read every page. Otherwise, I am starting with this, so you will think that you are reading the whole book. Oh, we don't want that much. Yeah, you can say that. But I won't allow you to say that. I will take care of that. The only important parts will be read. So in this period, when the British were ruling, there was a big turmoil out there. In 1775 they have said this. So Charles Dickens, though he was born and brought up after that, and the book was released in 1859, so it is also an important part. The Charles Dickens wrote this book in 1859, but he studied the era of 1775, and he went on telling things about stories about this 1775 era of England and of course France, in London and Paris. The two cities are London and Paris. So it was the best of times. It was worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. So what was it? What was the period? It was the best of times and worst of the times. Very important. Every time in the world, every place, every time has good and bad. So Pride and Prejudice has good, very, very good. The same period was not so good. Right? So the history is not about just good things. It's not just about bad things. Present times also, he will write it in the next sentence. Present times are also not too good, not too bad. As the Osho Bhagavan Rajneesh says, I don't follow him, but I read his books. As I said, there is a night and there is a day, and both comprise a life. They both complete a life. Can't expect everything 24 hours of bright. Can't expect 24 hours of dark. Is it? So, and that's good. Good and bad. Actually, that's not perfectly good. Bad things should diminish, good things should increase. for better existence and prosperity and peace. Okay, that goes beyond the scope. No, it's not beyond the scope. It's the epoch of belief. So what is this epoch of belief? It's a belief is a faith. So this is the period of faith. Faith in the old religious things. And epoch of incredulity. It's a period of big skepticism. So the strong religious versus secular convictions was this period. London was towards the first part, Paris was towards the other part. America was also on the revolutionary part. So, though being English, I think, is an English author, he has said so many things that are revolutionary. Though I talk of religion, I don't agree in blind faiths. That's why I like this. So you'll say, certain people say, you're talking about the Adhyatma and all, and you're still talking about this Dakota Johnson thing, means romanticism also. What is this? So I have developed a philosophy from many things. From Charlie Chaplin to Charles Dickens to the Russian Revolution, that also I have told about. From Ramayana, from Mahabharata, from Upanishads and Naneshwari. But I'm not a great reader. I don't say that I'm a great reader and I have read hundreds of thousands of books. No. But I think on every word I will read. I make a path for myself. I build a path for myself, build a philosophy for myself. So these are the things from which I go for. And that consists of certain things of history, beliefs of faith, and some religions, skepticism or revolutionary ideas. I'm telling you for not ego, but I'm telling this for you as a guideline. How to read, how to think, and how to form your own philosophy. I insist. Religions are always and should be under scanner. All religions, because they are formed 2000 years, 1400 years, 2500 years or 5000 years ago. So you should go for the analysis. Take the good one, dispose of the bad things. And that is my philosophy today. Pick up the good of the golden eras and erect new. So the building will have a foundation of good things back down there, back in the history, and good things to be good cement for the present. And for, of course, the future. How I am going to complete certain important things, I am not sure about it. But let's go. Go with the flow. Naneshwari, I told you, I'll go with the flow. So, you will like this also, because as Jnaneshwar Maharaj told in the Jnaneshwari that Mahabharata is very interesting. It's not a dry theory. Similarly, he is telling some dry theory, but it is becoming an amusement also because of the writer's skills. What is that? So, I will try to read in the rhythm. So, it was a season of light It was a season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct to the other way. Hell, is it? So we are all going to heaven, all going to hell. In short, the period was so far like the present period. Very important statement. So this is the period. Good period. That was the bad period. This is a very bad period. That was a very good period. That's the general perception, isn't it? No. Things are very good. Earlier it was not that. And the other will say, oh, everything is going down. It's lost. Humanity is lost. Everything is lost. Selfishness is unkept. Yes, it is. But not to that extent we talk of. To a particular extent. So, everything is bad. That's it. And the golden era, Ramayana, Mahabharata, everything was good, everybody was good. Not that. Never. It has never been so. So, the same period, of course it is in the towns, small villages, and it is in the cities. Difference is there. But that couldn't be so vast a difference, na? Here also she has not wrote about very bad things also. He has not wrote about very good things. Maybe because he is a revolutionary. So he has written this. We will read, of course, the whole thing and then go for the. But I read this totally, completely. So every period has good and bad of its own. Direct to heaven, we are going direct to the way. In short period, it's like present period. That some of its noisiest authorities. As now we see the noisiest authority which were then also prevalent, insisted on its being received for good or for evil in the superlative degree of comparison only. So that is just a comparison. Not everything is the same. How many minutes? 30 minutes? I don't know how much to continue because it's not as easy as Jnaneshwari. But we'll read some lines. There were a king with a large jaw and a queen with a plain face. On the throne of England, there were a king with a large jaw and a queen with a fair face. Where? Important, huh? Not was. There were a king. So, large jaw and a king with a fair face. On the throne of France. In both countries, it was clearer than crystal to the lords of the state, preserves of laws and fishes, that things in general were settled forever. So for the lords, when the poor English or even French people were not fared well, lords were at ease. The kings and queens and the lords of the houses were living happily without fear of not getting dinner tomorrow, had enough reserves of loaves and fishes. They were preserving own power and wealth. So that also we can see. In today's India also we can see that the politicians, the bureaucrats having preserved own power and wealth, and the poorest of the poor is at the same level. One thing is difference.